At just 13 years old, he was elbow deep in soap suds. Today, he's the mastermind behind a $35 million restaurant empire, an empire that owns the same restaurant where he put in all that hard work.
We say that we're building the Amazon of barbecue. He adopted me because I didn't have a father, but he made me on the weekends come out to this restaurant, and I hated it. I applied to go to law school and I actually got rejected by all 3 law schools. By failing, we figured we have to do something to keep this business alive. This is one of the things I wish we added when we first opened. He taught me hospitality, and he taught me how to tell a story. And once we learned how to tell our story, we learned how to tell other people's story. So that's how we became a media company.
Can I start something like this with little to no capital?
Absolutely. We share everything. Nothing is a secret. My name's Shawn, founder of CaliBBQ and CaliBBQ Media. We're going to teach you how to make millions in the restaurant business, but also in the media business.
All right, Shawn, before you start dropping all the gold nuggets with us and our audience, give us a quick snapshot of who you are, what you do, and why you're an entrepreneur worth listening to.
I grew up in the restaurant business, 13 years old, started bussing tables, washing dishes here. We've built over the last 15 years a $35 million business in the restaurant business. What I'm really excited about is not just our barbecue business, but our media business. So there's a creator economy right now, people that tell their story on the internet. We're in a location that everyone laughed at me. In 2008, we opened
much going on here.
In San Diego, off the beaten path, and they tell you in the restaurants, location, location, location.
Right.
Well, we struggled significantly in the beginning when we opened up. We had a very hard time getting people to come into our restaurant. So we started trying to make better barbecue, started to try to make better hospitality, started to try to give back to the community. And we felt that if we did all of those things really well, people would come. The local media would come. The newspaper would come and write something about our story. No one came. And what we teach is that no one's coming to tell your story. Every single business owner, anyone that's listening to this, you have the power to tell your own story with the smartphone that's in your pocket.
But really the uniqueness about you and what you do and how you approach things is you're in the restaurant business, but then you're in the content media creation that's tied to the restaurant, right? That's the lifeline of what you do. And that is why you guys should keep watching, because there's a lot of stuff that you want to hear from Shawn. Tell us about these.
So these are Old Hickory pits. You can put about 120 racks of ribs. This is built for a commissary model. So we say that we're building the Amazon of barbecue. Slow food fast. How do you get more barbecue? How do you get more barbecue to more people? In order to do that, you have to leverage technology, and you've got to have the best equipment, the best meats,
and the best people standing right behind us.
And Artemio, he's a TikTok star. If you go on our CaliBBQ channel,
check him out.
It's him and Bernice that are TikTok stars.
So you're 13 years old, you're growing up with your grandfather. He's running this actual business, right? You're washing dishes in this actual building, which is pretty cool, because this has been what, 20?
It's not the same dishwasher.
I know, but 25, 30 years ago almost? I mean,
yes,
we're what,
since
early
1994,
40s? Wow, that's nuts. So you just ended up working with your grandpa, always being by his side, and that's where he shared all these golden principles and taught you what in a nutshell?
When I was 13 years old, like I said, I grew up in La Jolla, a place of privilege. I was very lucky that he adopted me because I didn't have a father. But he made me on the weekends come out to this restaurant to bus tables, to wash dishes, and I hated it. All my friends were doing cool things.
Game Boys or whatever.
They were playing Game Boys, they were playing sports, they were going to the beach. And I was like, why do I have to go to this restaurant? I don't want to go to the restaurant. And now to this day, I'm so grateful that he made me do that work. I understand the value of work, but more importantly, the bigger thing is that he taught me hospitality, and he taught me how to tell a story.
That's pretty cool. Guys, keep watching, because the things that his grandpa shared with you, Shawn, right, are the principles and the bedrock of his success story today. And you're going to share with us the 3 principles that you like to call what? The Bulgarian
Mamba
mentality. Did I say that right?
You said it.
Sweet. All right, this is operation time.
So most business owners are scared to put content on the internet because they don't want to share the recipe or the secrets. We share everything, how we cook all of our barbecue. Nothing is a secret, and because we do it, people don't want to do it themselves because it takes time and expertise. That's how you grow on social media.
All right, teach me something.
But now we're going to get you to do some chopping of pulled pork. This is what you're going to do. You're going to find the bone. He's taking the bone out.
Look at that.
So this is deboning the pork butt.
So obviously we don't want to serve bones to our customers, but...
No. Oh, look at you. Look at that.
Look at that. See,
who's the professional?
I am absolutely.
Look at this. Cool. There we go. Now we're talking. Paul's on it. Yes.
This is where
that is very well done. Yes.
I mean, I got a little snippet.
There you go. Okay, now chop it up.
Just chop it up like this?
Yeah, put the seasoning.
Put the seasoning? There we go.
All right. I'm getting ahead of myself here a little bit. Guys, comment below. Do you think I should open up a restaurant of my own? Can I take a little taste?
Oh, absolutely.
Is that all right?
But be careful, because it's probably the best thing you've ever had.
Salt Bay. I don't know if that... not as good as him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that.
That's good. All right, well, that was that. Let's get out of here. Let your wonderful staff carry on and their prep work. What time do you open up?
How was the pork?
That was delicious, dude.
Right?
I can't wait to try it in a sandwich form, however you serve it.
There we go. Yeah, we open at noon.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's check out your dining area, see where all the magic happens as well. Shawn, what was the biggest challenge that you faced when you started this business here, this location? How did you overcome it?
The biggest challenge is that no one's coming to tell your story. That's why we took telling our story, using the internet, using all the social media platforms. We started to learn. We got very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable to go onto Facebook, to go onto Instagram, now going onto TikTok to make a selfie video to talk about the things that we do. We've got brisket sandwiches, pulled pork sandwiches.
That wasn't natural to you?
Not natural. Not natural. I wasn't good at it, but we learned every single day how to get a little bit better. And once we learned how to tell our story, we learned how to tell other people's story. So that's how we became a media company. We started interviewing other business owners. We started talking about business products, not just talking about, hey, we have great brisket, come and buy brisket. You know, by failing, and I mean not being able to pay our bills, not being able to pay payroll, we figured we have to do something to keep this business alive. And back in 2009, 2010, 2011, that's when all these social media platforms started to get real popular because of the smartphone.
Well, tell us what we got. What are we looking at?
You've got some brisket.
Delicious.
You saw that come off the smoker this morning.
Sir.
This is pulled pork that you probably chopped.
Yeah.
I think we literally just took this off the
My
pit.
chopping expertise on the plate.
We have the jalapeno cheddar cornbread, and then we have the coleslaw and the potato salad, and I've got the same thing over here.
All right.
And enjoy.
Enjoy the cornbread. Some people that know your story more may say that you come from a privileged background. What do you say about that, Shawn? And what are the possible disadvantages of coming from that kind of story?
Coming from a privileged background gave me lots of opportunity. That opportunity came with expectation. So my grandfather was a medical doctor, and he wanted me to go to law school. I applied to go to law school, and I actually got rejected by all 3 law schools in San Diego.
No kidding.
The biggest disadvantage is that people don't believe in you and they think you're crazy. You know, when people look at the success that we have on the media side of our business with deals with Toast and Restaurant 365 and 7 Shifts and Yelp and all these incredible brands that we work with on a daily, weekly, yearly basis to create content for, they don't realize all the work that we put in over the last 15 years of learning how to tell our story on the internet.
Privileged or not privileged background, there's hard work.
The recipe's
right?
hard. The recipe's hard work. I mean, there's no winning lottery ticket. It doesn't matter if you come from privilege, if you come from nothing. What matters is what do you do today? And not only what do you do today, but what are you going to do tomorrow to improve on what you did today?
Got it. When did you realize that this place here, this location, this restaurant, was not just that? Like, there's more to it. You got the media that was born out of it. Like, when did that moment come to you?
The biggest transformation happened when we first launched our podcast in 2017. It wasn't just about me talking about CaliBBQ. It was me sitting down with another business owner and telling their story. And most business owners don't get an opportunity unless they get on legacy media. But if you do go on local news, you get 3 minutes, 5 minutes maximum, and you got to talk about whatever you're selling. You don't get a long form ability to say these are the things that I did right, these are the things I wish I knew, which is why what you guys do at UpFlip is so valuable. I wanted to hear from real business owners.
This is the business class. UpFlip is the business place to go to and learn from people like Shawn. All right, we're at the bar, right? This is where the drink magic happens.
Where the drink magic happens.
What drink are you making, Steven?
I'm making our Cali Mai Tai.
Oh man, Can't wait to try it. All right, while he's doing that, we are going to talk about the fact that you started here at 13 years old, doing all the dirty work.
Yep.
Not a lot of 13 years old do that. So what did you learn? Well, how did that shape you, who you are today?
If you can find the magic of something that you don't like doing, which I found hospitality, and I didn't find hospitality until much later in life once I got rejected from law school. I didn't realize that I would be in the restaurant business, now in the restaurant media business, until I found those lessons of working hard. And it's every single day you've got to work hard and knowing that I got to get a little bit better.
Right, and I think the other point that I can take away from what you're saying is you're not enjoying it, it isn't fun, but you're still continuing to pursue through it, right?
Correct.
And then there's a lesson in that, like the patience, the endurance.
Well, it's also understanding that what you're physically doing, if you're washing dishes, if you're making a drink, if you're making barbecue, if you're making content, like that's the one thing, but where are all the other dots that are happening? You know, the more that you stay curious, get involved, ask for help, the more that you realize, well, I'm not the only person on earth that's a dishwasher. I'm not the only person on earth that's a bartender.
Right.
I'm not the only person on earth that's a YouTuber. How can I connect with other people that are doing this craft right here, right now, and connect to them and then grow?
Awesome. Well, that was quick, Steven. What's the highlight of that drink? Man, it looks beautiful.
If you come and get one, you actually get to take the fishbowl itself, empty of course, and the duck home as a souvenir.
That's cool.
2 per person, tons of fun.
Dude, this is good. And by the time we're done with this interview, that's going to be empty. I am proud to introduce today's sponsor, Start Engine. Big ideas, they start small. Airbnb, Uber, they were once dreams, and someone believed in them, invested, and now, well, they've struck gold. For folks like us, these investment opportunities were once exclusive and out of reach. Start Engine is giving you and me a seat at the table. This is an open invitation for everyone to invest in early-stage private companies alongside 1.7 million users. Led by Howard Marks, the co-founder of gaming giant Activision, Start Engine has raised over $1.1 billion for startups of all sizes. They've even raised $71 million for themselves. UpFlip viewers like you and me can now start investing in startups with as little as $100. Or you can join Start Engine's own offering with a minimum investment of $500. Click the link in the description or visit invest.startengine.com. Seize the opportunity and own a piece of tomorrow's revolutionary companies. Blitz time. You ready for Blitz?
Ready for
All
Blitz.
Right,
Let's
this
go.
is a game. It's fun. Thank you guys for submitting your questions. Makes it more interesting. Tommy's asking, how did you grow your social media presence?
Sharing everything.
Sharing everything. All right. Jazz is asking, what is the worst part about being an entrepreneur?
Everything starts with you and ends with you.
I love that. Liam wants to know, what's the biggest purchase you've ever made? Business,
Biggest
personal, whatever.
purchase I've ever made. I mean, probably my house.
Your
home.
house? Yeah, that's true. All right. Russ is asking, if you could sell your barbecue to one celebrity, who would it be?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yes. Are you
Okay.
watching Ryan Reynolds? We're
No.
coming for you. He's not?
No, I didn't.
He's not.
But that's a
We
cut.
can get it.
Sorry, Ryan. I got too much stuff I need to watch. All right, Z wants to know, why should someone not do what you're doing?
Why should someone not do what we no stability. Every day is a new day. It's a new day of opportunity, but it's a new day of risk.
All right, Serge is asking, what's the weirdest thing someone asked you to make?
I mean, we get a lot of vegetarian requests.
Okay.
And we sell barbecue.
It's like barbecue? Okay.
It's,
No,
you know, it's kind of, it's a weird thing to ask a barbecue place to make.
Last but not least, Alex is asking, what is the funniest customer complaint or request you've ever made? Or received, sorry.
Well, I don't know if it was very funny, but I've ruined Thanksgiving for about 112 people. So we no longer open on
How
Thanksgiving.
could you, Shawn?
But we thought that it would be a great idea to smoke turkeys on Thanksgiving. We got so many turkey orders on Thanksgiving
What
that
happened?
the smokers were full. And I told them, you can come at 11 a.m., you can come at 1 p.m. I had people lined up in this patio,
Oh, no.
ready to go and bring this beautifully smoked turkey. And the turkeys weren't ready for 2 hours afterwards. I had to go and just apologize and I'm so sorry. It was terrible.
That was good. Well, let's switch gears and talk about your past experience, Shawn, with partners.
Yes.
Every business partner has another partner potentially. What have you learned? The pros and cons, about going through that?
I mean, I think one of the most difficult lessons that I learned early on before we started CaliBBQ was this was a breakfast business.
Okay.
And me and one of my best friends, who was a partner in the beginning, we got into partnership with someone else. So this other gentleman was the majority partner in the business. And our goal was to bring the liquor license, add the barbecue, add the dinner. And what we found was that over time, which was a quick period of time, over 3 months, he really didn't want to buy into that vision. He had his own vision. And because we were a minority partner, we really couldn't do anything about it. So if anyone's looking into partnership, what's so important is in the beginning that you're very clear. Not just in real life, not just with what are the expectations, but what does the agreement say? Because if things go wrong, you're going to need to go back to the agreement and say, hey, Shawn, you said you were going to do marketing and sales. Hey, ex-partner, you said you were going to be doing operations
Gets
and
a little
accounting.
dicey and tricky.
That's where most partnerships fail, is because they don't have a clear expectation of what was supposed to happen.
Okay, lesson well learned.
Yeah.
I want to dive in with Shawn about this whole truck. Tell us about when it became part of your business, what it did to your business, the opportunities that it opened up. What do you want to share with us?
This is one of the things I wish we added when we first opened for
Like
the catering.
from the get-go?
From the get-go. ABB, always be branding. This is a moving billboard. So every single place that Steven goes, whether it's Fox 5, CBS, catering events, Snapdragon Stadium, the Ghost Kitchens, we're literally advertising our business and people are asking about it.
Right.
It's big, it's bold, it's red, it stands out so people, they see it. It's allowed us to work on what we call the hub and spoke model, so the Amazon of barbecue. How do we get more barbecue to more people? It's cooking craft barbecue here at the Master Smokehouse, and then every single day getting it to a point where now we can sell it at the Ghost Kitchen location, the stadium location, at catering. We also do catering events at Amazon down here at Otay Lake, so an Amazon fulfillment center.
Gotcha.
We feed their employees.
Sweet.
The whole goal is to get more barbecue to more people, and this helps us do that.
Obviously, you don't have to go new. Give us a rough cost estimate on...
$85,000 custom built out. So this was
That's not
expensive
cheap.
because it's a hot and cold.
Well, let's walk around it, Shawn.
Sure.
Let's see what's unique about it. You got, is this an actual QR code?
This is a QR code to our digital business card. So
That
if
is
you
cool.
actually scan that, it will go to
Let's
Popple.
see, Steve. Let's make sure it works.
Let's make sure it works.
Yeah, it does.
Right there,
you
you can order barbecue, follow us on social media, even join our VIP club, and give us feedback. Let us know how we're doing.
Digital
Sweet.
first.
Thanks, Steve. So where are we going right now?
So we're going to Sports Arena. It's another part of San Diego. It's about 25 miles west of our location.
That's awesome. You guys come with us. Before you do that and hop in the car with us, take a second. We appreciate your support if you hit that like button and subscribe. Shawn, where are we? Give us a quick highlight of what are we doing here?
We are in Sports Arena, San Diego. So we have a new location. This is a new friendly Ghost Kitchen location at
Awesome.
Maker Kitchens.
How long have you been here?
We just opened up.
No way.
Yeah, so welcome.
Cool. Well, let's get the food out. I
Yep.
know the people are ready to order, so
Let's
I'm here
go.
to help.
All right,
I'll
grab
take the
those
cornbread.
jalapeno cornbread. I'm gonna grab some tri-tip.
Look at this cornbread. So you basically, all the food's prepped there, you deliver it. When you run out, you run out. Is that the deal?
That is the deal. Once you're out in barbecue.
Better order online, right?
That's right.
Wow, 26 kitchens out of here. So what are you paying for your space then? What is the cost?
$3,000 a month for our space.
$3,000. Okay.
Yep.
Obviously, nothing is equipped.
Nothing's equipped.
That's
it does
up to
come
you.
with it does come with a hood. So
Nice.
the hood is the most expensive part of any kitchen. But if you're building a commissary space, ghost kitchen space, this is the most expensive part. So
Yeah, that's huge,
all
dude.
of the equipment we own. We took it from our other ghost kitchen and brought that into here. But Steven and the team, literally because ghost kitchens are flexible, allowed us to go from one location to another location in less than 2 weeks. So we finished our lease, we started a new lease, we moved our location, and now we're in a brand new market and hopefully ready to serve, a different part of San Diego.
This is nuts though. I mean, we're standing in a pretty small room and you're paying
That's it.
$3,000 a month?
Yeah.
Wow. What's really cool that you mentioned also, and I want to highlight that, is the whole social media, phone in front of your face. That's not natural to a lot of us. Would you agree?
It's 100%.
So for restaurant owners watching and saying, "Oh my gosh, I cringe at that idea," How did you evolve? How did you overcome that? Like, what would be your tip to them?
The biggest tip is that no one's coming to tell your story, and no one can tell your story better than you. You know, we do barbecue on the West Coast in San Diego. We have people that came from Texas, people that come from Kansas City, from Memphis. They care about barbecue in ways that I can't even comprehend because I'm from San Diego. But I had to get comfortable saying that no one's gonna tell the CaliBBQ story like me. This is our story, this is my story, and anybody that's listening to this, your story matters. You do it in real life already.
But I'm shy of the cameras.
Yeah,
Shawn.
but you've already.
I'm scared.
But you're a business owner.
All those excuses.
And an entrepreneur.
Okay.
You're the original creators. All we're talking about is online storytelling. You got to remove the logo. Stop thinking about it as TikTok or YouTube or podcasts. It's audio, video, words, and images.
You have passion for what you do.
You do what you
Share
do.
it.
Just get somebody to film what you do. Having a conversation, talking to your team, checking in your meat order, taking meat off the smoker. Tell the story of your community, of your village, of the people that work for you, because you've already done it.
Right. Just not.
You just haven't done it for the
publicly,
internet.
Right.
You haven't published it on the internet.
Cool. All right, let's dive into the startup cost for CaliBBQ, the brick and mortar where we
Brick and
just
mortar,
came
yep.
from. Yeah. Where did you get the funds? How much was it? Just give us an understanding of how it was broken down.
So I went in with a business partner. It was me and one of my best friends from college. I bought him out 4 years into the business, but the startup funds were about $175,000.
How did you save up that money?
I got some loans from friends and family, but I also saved up money from doing residential and commercial real estate.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You opened multiple locations.
Yes.
Thank you, Steve, by the way.
Absolutely.
Opened multiple locations. I want to know at which point did you know that it was the right time to do that? Because that's an important step for especially restaurateurs, right?
Like I said, we're not opening up traditional restaurant locations.
Period.
So we have opened during the pandemic 2 friendly ghost kitchens that is only for takeout and delivery. So there's no dining aspect. So if you go, you wouldn't know that it's a restaurant, but it's multiple restaurants in one location. So the cost to capital to open up a ghost kitchen is anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000.
Still that much.
It's still that much. So it's significant capital because of the equipment that you're bringing in
so
to the 200 square feet.
See, I thought you were leasing that space, which is already equipped and ready to go.
Some of them are, most of them aren't. That's the capital investment that you have to make. Is that cheaper than spending $1 million or $2 million to build out a restaurant? Absolutely. The best part about a ghost kitchen is that we're not into a 20-year lease. We don't have a 10-year lease. We're on a 1-year lease. So we get to test this market, we get to test this product to find out maybe there's a huge demand. They can go, oh, I'm really excited because every Friday I can order a tailgater or a Mai Tai to go.
Okay, cool. Restaurant businesses seem like a capital-heavy startup.
Yes.
Break that myth for us if it's possible. Can I start something like this with little to no capital?
Absolutely. The best part about the world that we live in today is that you can start as a creator and you can build a community online. So if you're thinking about getting into the restaurant business.
Sorry, I'm distracted by the smell and the sound, but
if you're thinking about getting into the restaurant business and you love making barbecue, you don't need to go and raise $1 million.
You don't need a brick and mortar location.
You don't need a brick and mortar. No, you need to start today and start a TikTok account, start a YouTube account, start an Instagram account.
But how is that a restaurant? Sorry, I gotta interrupt.
How?
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you're sharing and you're building a community before you open. The new business plan is to build a community online.
You're flipping it all upside down.
Start to make videos on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. Start to make a podcast because that doesn't require a lot of capital. Now all of a sudden you're telling me and you're proving to me, the audience, that you know how to make pulled pork. Show me every single day and tell me that you want to open up a restaurant. Now all of a sudden the community of people that are following you, they're invested in your story. They might become your investors. The people that are watching you and growing with you and subscribing to your channel, that becomes your community.
So that's what you're saying. Start there first. Don't even think about this.
But if you haven't started before, start today.
Yeah.
Today is the most important day, and learning the craft of telling your story and building in public.
And then you evolve into a brick and mortar, obviously.
And then,
that's the natural evolution of days?
Absolutely. And then all of a sudden you have landlords that are reaching out to you before you've even opened up. And saying, hey, I love what you're doing.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing on YouTube. I see what you're doing on TikTok.
That is a game changer. Tell us what you guys think about this. And if you've been through this evolution of doing what Shawn is talking about, and then you find yourself on the phone call with a landlord that says, hey, I've got 15,000 square feet, which is probably too much. Anyway, we'd love to hear you guys' feedback. This would be cool to hear, yeah. So recession hit all of us pretty hard. I'm a real estate agent at home full time, and you could see the numbers just dropped, but for restaurant businesses, right? Oh, it was a nightmare. What did you learn through that process, and how did you come out on top?
Most people talk about in the pandemic that they pivoted. We didn't pivot, we went all in on the internet. We already believed in the internet because of our location, because of the things that we had done. But what was so important is what you talked about with customer service. Customer service is treating another person like a human being. We believe in hospitality, and more importantly, during the pandemic, we believe in digital hospitality. Digital hospitality is how do you treat someone that is a stranger? How do you welcome them? Give them a memorable moment in real life? How do you extend that to the internet? How do you make someone who's written a review on Yelp, whether you agree with the review, whether you disagree with the review, but how do you acknowledge them as a human? How do you do the same thing with an email? How do you do the same thing with the text message? That's what we call digital hospitality.
Gotcha. Well, when you say you fully went into digital during the pandemic, what steps did you take? Give us a quick breakdown.
Yeah, the number one step we took was finding a primary technology partner. So we were with Aloha, which is a legacy point of sale system for 12 years, very comfortable, but it didn't allow us to process orders online. We switched to Toast, who is our primary technology partner, and we told Toast, I'm a barbecue media company. I'm gonna create podcasts, I'm gonna create blog, LinkedIn content, all about what Toast is gonna help us do. So we made a Toast unboxing video. This Toast unboxing video was shared by the company CEO, Chris Comparato, 3 days after to the entire company. After that video, we got invited to the Toast's IPO. Toast is now the title sponsor of our show, Restaurant Influencers. What we've done to go all into the storytelling, the B2B, business to business storytelling, is something that we teach all business owners. It's one of the most valuable things that we learned during the pandemic.
And that's probably never going to change
Never
moving
gonna
forward,
change.
right? It's
Absolutely
only going to continue to grow.
It's probably has the biggest exponential growth side of our business.
As a business owner, you're a business leader as well for the staff, right? What kind of mindset do you need to have that's been good for your success and that you're sharing with others as well? I know it's kind of a general, broad question.
I had a guest on our podcast, Digital Hospitality, tell me to be like bamboo.
Be like bamboo. Never heard that
And
before.
if you know what bamboo is, it's a very sturdy plant that will root itself in the ground. But it will also remain flexible. And when I look at our barbecue business, which we started as a breakfast business and a sports bar, and we evolved into a barbecue business, into an events business, into now a media business, we've always anchored in the community. We've anchored in what we believe in, which is digital hospitality, which is smartphone storytelling, which is the craft of barbecue and the craft of storytelling. So we're anchored in what we believe in. We have a big vision, we have a big plan, but we're also flexible. We're flexible to know that, yes, we were a breakfast concept, but now we need to evolve that concept into a barbecue concept. Now we've gotten really good at telling our own story. How can we help tell other people's story, which is how the media side of the business evolved.
That's cool, and that's the pivotal success point for
sure.
your business and
Absolutely.
where you are and where you're going, right?
That's when we look back at this video and the content that we made here today, it's knowing that the exponential growth of helping other business leaders do exactly what we've done, empower them to add revenue streams that they never thought were possible. That's what's really exciting for us.
That's cool, and we're talking about building businesses, growing businesses, so make sure you check out UpFlip.com where you can find proven blueprints for any kind of business and on how you can start and grow successfully. What are you spending on advertising, and break down the cost specifically for us if you can?
Sure.
And then what is your return on the ad spent?
So we look at advertising in two ways. Obviously, there's organic and then there's paid.
Yeah.
We put a lot of investment into organic. Obviously, we have a media company. I have a full-time producer. I have a writer. I have social media manager. I've got videographers. For us, that's a huge investment that we make. That helps us generate the revenue that we get on the media side of our business. So just last year was the first time that we actually brought in revenue, $175,000 in revenue
On the media side of things.
side specifically.
Got it.
We had been operating this media company for 5 years before we finally got a brand deal. Multiple brand deals. Now we're at the point where we've done over 1.3 million just in this year alone, including revenue into next year.
So I saw you using TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Are you spending money monthly there, $1,000, $2,000 to get a return? Or
about, on average, about
miniature?
1,000. Very, very miniature because
Across
we're
all the
testing
platforms?
across all the platforms.
That's not a lot at all.
It's not a lot at all, given the revenue that we're doing, but that's because we're investing so much of those dollars into original organic content. That content helps
making it
us
yourself.
get those brand deals, which brings in revenue for us.
What is the best piece of advice you've received by far in terms of leveraging digital media and business?
So I host multiple podcasts, but on the Digital Hospitality Show, one of the guests came on, Eric Schellenberger, and he said, be the show, not the commercial.
Be the show, not the commercial. All right, elaborate on
The problem that every business owner has is that we have this elaborate idea of what content needs to be on the internet. We want a Super Bowl commercial about our business. I want this incredible directed video of ribs and brisket coming off the smoker and drone footage and all this amazing stuff. But ultimately, what does the internet wants? They want a show. You know, my son is 6 years old. My daughter is 4. When they first started watching YouTube for kids, they knew immediately how to hit skip on the button. Because they don't want their content. They don't want their content interrupted.
Yeah.
We're adults. We don't want to be advertised to, but we want to watch a show. The best advice that I can give to anybody that's watching this is publish everything.
Raw.
Don't worry about you can learn as you go how to make a better video, how to make a better podcast, how to write a better blog, but literally be raw, publish. Quantity, speed, consistency will eventually equal quality. The problem is everyone wants quality first. Doesn't happen. Quantity, speed, consistency, eventually will get you to quality.
Man, this is bomb. All you're missing is a sledgehammer, because all we're doing right now is sledgehammering myths and everything that people have been stuck thinking that way. But it's like, forget the quality, forget
new
the
business
editing.
creator economy is here.
What is the revenue for the restaurant? Maybe in the last year or two?
So, you know, any restaurant, any business, we've all gone through our peaks and valleys. In the last 15 years, we've done over $35 million in sales.
That's a wild number, dude.
In the restaurant business. That's significant. Right now, since COVID, we've made significant investment to transform our full-service restaurant and sports bar, which at the peak before the pandemic, we were at $3.3 million in sales.
That's yearly.
That was yearly.
Yeah.
So 3.3 million in sales, full restaurant, people everywhere, full staff. So we're at a point right now where it's very exciting. I can still take on a capital investment, or I can continue to doing what we're doing really well, which is help people with their media goals.
What systems, software are you using to make sure everything runs smoothly?
So we have a robust tech stack. We publish the tech stack on our website, but it's Toast is our primary technology partner. Restaurant 365 we use for the financial and accounting side of our business. We use 7Shift for people management, for scheduling. We use Ovation for feedback, and then all the social media platforms. And then, like I said, on our website, we have a robust tech stack for anybody that's in the restaurant business and wants to know some of the tips and tools that we use.
Okay, just go there.
Go and check it out, CaliBBQ.media.
Appreciate it, dude. Thanks for sharing it with everybody.
Of course, yeah. It's building in public.
Shawn, so I'm really curious, what is the Bulgarian mama mentality that you mentioned earlier on in the video, and how has it helped your business grow? This is from your grandpa, right?
So this is my grandfather, Lubin Walchev. He taught me to stay curious, to get involved, and to ask for help. Stay curious. You don't watch a podcast, you don't listen to something on tape, you don't read a book, you don't go to a conference unless you're a curious person, unless you want to learn, to improve. But what he also taught me was that if you think about when you're in school, or if you think about playing sports, who are the people that succeeded? They were the ones that raised their hand.
Okay.
They're the ones that went to office hours. They're the ones that talked to the teacher after class. You've got to get involved. You've got to do something with the information. It's not just enough to watch this YouTube video. You got to do something.
Absolutely.
Make that selfie video of your business. Make a video about something of your business that you've never done before. Show off something that you've never shown off. That's you getting involved. And then finally asking for help. There's never been a better time to go on the internet and reach out to anybody that you admire, another creator, another business owner, somebody that's doing something cool, and just saying, hey, can I ask you a couple questions? I don't even need to go and meet somebody for coffee. I can literally get on a Zoom for 15 minutes. I'm weirdly available. People can reach out to me. We host Clubhouse Rooms, which is a social audio app, every Wednesday, every Friday. People can come onto the stage, tell us about your business, tell us about your dreams for your business. We have digital hospitality leaders from all over the globe, and our job is to help people succeed.
That's cool. So recap the mentality again, real quick.
Stay curious, get involved, ask for help.
Boom. So obviously there's a lot of competitors in this line of work, especially barbecue. Right? How has your relationship evolved?
We believe in collaboration over competition. We believe a rising tide lifts all ships. So in the barbecue business, there's lots of other great craft barbecue restaurants in San Diego, especially that have been built in the last 15 years. In the beginning, we always believed that if we celebrate barbecue and we had more people in San Diego talking about barbecue, better things would happen for all of us.
Right.
So we looked at the craft beer industry in San Diego, and people from all over the world come to San Diego to learn about craft beer, because these brewmasters were willing to share secrets instead of act like Coke versus Pepsi.
Right.
So we partnered with Valley Farm Market, and we put on an amateur barbecue contest where we invited not only amateur barbecue teams, but local caterers that were in the barbecue business, local restaurants, local pit masters, and we had them sell barbecue right in front of our restaurant. But we did that to raise money for local youth sports, and that put us in a position where, because of these big events that we were throwing, not only were we raising money for charity, letting people know that something cool was happening in our community, but we were building deep relationships with other business owners who were in the same line of work as we were.
So they were never rivals. I mean,
they were never rivals.
Business.
When I first reached out to them and said, "Hey, would you come sell barbecue in front of our restaurant?" They thought it was crazy. Like, what's going on with this guy? This doesn't make any sense. But once they came and realized, no, they really just care about the growth of the sport of barbecue, the growth of the craft barbecue in San Diego. Because we cared about that, we proved by showing and not by telling.
So running a business like this, especially the food industry, because we've interviewed a ton already, can be very stressful. The in and out, ABCs of doing all this. How do you stay sane as a business owner?
First, I'm a husband, I'm a father, and for me in the hospitality business, so many people, we have hospitality in our DNA. We take care of the village, we take care of our team, we take care of everybody. Very rarely do we take care of ourselves. And what I learned is actually going through therapy was that when you go on a plane and you're traveling, the stewardess asks, if you're traveling with kids, what happens when the oxygen mask comes down? What are you supposed to do?
Put it on yourself first.
And that's so counterintuitive as a man. You want to take care of your children, you want to take care of your wife, but what you have to do is put that oxygen mask on yourself first. That was a very powerful analogy for me. Now, what I do every morning is what I call sunrise gratitude. I wake up, I start my day at 4 a.m. That's when I start reading. I spend time with myself so that I can actually advance my mind. Then I'll spend time exercising, whether that's Peloton, whether that's just something at home. And then I go outside. So when the sun comes up, I'm outside either hiking, running, or walking. It's just an hour away for me to listen to music, spend time, and get outside and really appreciate the big picture of what we're trying to build.
What you mentioned is really important, you know, the waking up, the reading, focusing on yourself, the mask on first so you can take care of the people you have around you, right? And the other thing that I want to highlight to our viewers, especially the restaurant owners, you guys, if you're listening, is what you mentioned on the rooftop, right? Like, they find themselves in dark places as owners of these businesses. Tell us a little bit about why that is, why they find themselves there, whether it's alcohol, whether it's some other forms of addictions, for example, and how you kind of evolved through that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's real. I mean, we all face it.
In this business, we burn the candle on both ends. You know, it's something that we celebrate closing and then opening. You know, working as many hours as possible, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year.
Nuts, dude.
For me, I've been in a program of recovery since 2012. I'm very public about that because I'm a bar owner. You know, I own a barbecue business, a media business, but we also sell alcohol. And it's important for me that anybody that's listening to know that it is okay to be in this business, to be in the hospitality business, to find sobriety. There are people out there that do it. And if you are in a dark place, there's places to go to ask for help.
And it's because this business is just naturally, very stressful? I mean,
it's very stressful. We work when everyone plays. So if you think about Friday night, Saturday night, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve, these are the most important revenue days for any restaurant or someone that's in the hospitality space. So you have this guilt of missing out on the big event. So you're working your ass off. All of a sudden you work, and then you go home. You want to reward yourself. That only puts you into this vicious cycle. And for me, I had to get out of the cycle. I had to ask for help. And anybody that's listening to this, there's help out there.
Dude, that's cool that you're willing to just be open about it. And I find it very encouraging, very real, and I hope you guys do too. And this is just for fun. If you could have barbecue, sit down, enjoy a conversation with 3 dead or alive people, who would they be, Shawn? Who comes to mind, and why?
Number one would be my grandfather. I miss him. He's with me every single day. It would be him. I would have an incredible barbecue meal with him. It would also be Ryan Reynolds. Huge fan of Ryan Reynolds. He's done an incredible work in his acting career, but what's more impressive is the business and storytelling, what he's done with maximum effort. I think is very, very unique. Purchasing a soccer team and putting them on Netflix and now on Hulu. It's the storytelling side of the business, which is fascinating to me. And then finally would be Kobe. Back to the Bulgarian Mamba mentality, but Mamba mentality is Kobe is somebody that is always dedicated to the craft, to being a little bit better every single day.
Well said, dude. In conclusion, John, what do you want to tell our viewers, whether it's just a piece of advice, something from your heart? I know all of it was, but we talked about, running restaurants, barbecue, the media company. What do you want to conclude with? This has been awesome.
The most important thing is are you willing to do what someone else is unwilling to do? Are you willing to be uncomfortable? Most people in your circle will not want to know why you want to tell your story. If you love what you do, no matter where you are, if you're your own business owner, if you work for a company, you should love what you do and want to share it on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, everywhere. The better that you get at telling that story, the more opportunities you have. The internet's not going anywhere. Every business needs social media. Every business needs storytelling. And if you're watching this, you obviously get it. This is why you want to level up, but do the work. Stay curious, now get involved.
Cool. All right, man. This has been good. Thanks, brother.
Boom.
Well, that's a wrap, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this incredible episode with Shawn. If you are interested in more restaurant biz insights, check out our episode 160 of a pizza shop that sells out in 3 months. We love you. We appreciate you. Hit that like, subscribe, and hit that bell so that you don't miss any videos.